Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel, Tara Talks Books, where we talk everything bookish. So today I'm going to be doing books to add to your wish list. I am only doing books that I have read this year. Obviously, there are plenty of books I could add from previous years, but I did narrow it down to just ones that I've read so far this year. So without further ado, let's see what books I think you should add to your wish list. So we will start off with a historical romance, and it's actually a reread for me, and that one is Secrets of a Summer Night by Lisa Kleypas. And if you can get your hands on the original print, I definitely think that is the way to read it. I did read, when I first read the series, I read the newer publication, enjoyed it, loved it. So if you can't find the original publication, that's okay too. Either way, Secrets of a Summer Night is one to add to your wish list. This is technically the first one in the Wallflower series. There is a prequel, but this is the first one that starts the Wallflower series. And this is one where you meet the Wallflowers, and it is for women who kind of are pushed to the outside of like society, or like in the balls, nobody wants to marry them. So they're considered wallflowers. And one day somebody says something and they spark up a conversation and they realize they're just sitting there not doing anything. So why don't they work with each other, like help each other out to find husbands? And that's what they do. And the first book, it follows Annabelle, and Annabelle is they kind of pick her, one, I think because she's the oldest, and two, she's really in some dire straits. Her father has passed away, and her brother is still young and in school. And then her mother and her just kind of keep the family together. So she has to marry well, because they're on the brink of ruin financially. And so everybody kind of wants Annabelle, but they don't want her to be their wife because she doesn't have a dowry. And they want her to be her mistress, or their mistress. And Annabelle ain't having that. So Annabelle kind of goes to Stony Cross Park, which it's an estate where a party is being thrown, and she's kind of looking there as her like last ditch effort for the season to find a husband. Well, Simon Hunt is also there, and Simon Hunt is not a titled gentleman. He's a self-made man, and he wants Annabelle too, and he wants her as his mistress, and so he's waiting. But as he's waiting, he's starting to notice, wait, so is everybody else. And that doesn't sit right with him. And it goes from there. I just love this book so much. It was so good. Another one that's actually the third one in the series is An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn. I just loved this one. This has Cinderella vibes. It's Benedict's story out of the Bridgerton family, and there's this class difference that happens between him and Sophie. I love their meet cute because they meet at like a masquerade and they like just have this instant connection. So although she is the daughter of an earl, she's kind of been relegated by her stepmother to be kind of like a servant, and like her stepmother's cruel to her. And then eventually one day she has to leave, and obviously they never meet, but he always in the background is kind of searching for her until one day circumstances align and they do meet, and she knows who he is, but he doesn't know who she is. He doesn't recognize her because she's changed over the years because of circumstances that have happened to her in her life. So I just love this one. Sophie is such a strong character, and I really love the class difference in this one. And I just love how Benedict kind of was like pining for this woman that he met once, and she was always in the background of his mind. I love this one. Definitely one of my favorites in the Bridgerton series. Another one, you might be noticing a theme. It's historical romances this year. It's the year of historical romances for me, apparently. But another one to add to your wish list is No Rest for the Wicked by Lauren Smith. I mean, obviously, this cover, I would just buy it off that, but there's obviously more to it. So this one follows Roberta, and the ship that she was like sailing on was attacked by pirates. She disguises herself as a cabin boy and is taken captive by the pirates. Captain Dominic Gray sees through her disguises and gives her two choices: share his bed and live life on the ship as a lady, or sleep on the floor and remain on the ship as his cabin boy. She refuses to be seduced by a pirate and remains a cabin boy. But the more time they spend together, the more they both realize this attraction may be too much to resist. I loved this pirate romance so much. I love that it's set on the high seas. It was fun and action-packed without detracting from the lovely romance. I really enjoyed that they both had this love for the ocean, which like connected them. I really enjoyed that Roberta is a fierce heroine and Dominic is a damaged hero with a dark past, but really cares for like his crew. This is such a good book. Definitely, it's got the damaged hero, it's got a fierce heroine, it's forced proximity, a bit of captive. It just has it all, and it was such a fun read. I loved it so much. So, if you haven't added this one to your wish list, you definitely should. The next one I have is because we were doing the Abby Jimenez read along, and that one is Life's Too Short, obviously by Abby Jimenez. And this one is just so sweet. I ended up giving it a 5-star. It definitely is a slow burn romance with some found family vibes in it. So Vanessa like has quit her job and she's become like a traveling YouTuber, and she has become famous doing that. However, she comes back into town and she moves into an apartment next to Adrian, and she ends up having to stay like locally and not do her traveling because she ends up gaining custody for her sister's daughter. And so she has to obviously take care of her. And so one night her niece is up and she's crying, and Vanessa just has tried everything to soothe her and it's just not working. And it's very late at night, and Adrian kind of goes next door and he's like, hey, we share a wall. I'm trying to get some sleep, and she's like, yeah, us too. I'm not purposely making the baby cry. And so he offers to help. And he obviously gets the baby calmed down. And it's kind of for like a reason that you wouldn't expect. At least I wouldn't. That the baby was fussy. And so I just love that he steps in and he helps support her as she's fostering her niece. And it's just a lovely slow burn romance that has like these, like I said, found family vibes. I just loved it so much, and it was such a great read. Another one I have, and it is a historical romance as well, is The Highwayman by Kerrigan Byrne. I definitely think that if you are a contemporary dark romance reader, you would enjoy this one because it is definitely a darker historical romance. So this one follows Dorian Blackwell, and he's like a ruthless villain. He is a wealthy, and he will stop at nothing to get vengeance to those who wronged him. He gets what he wants, and currently that's Farrah Lee Mackenzie. So Farrah is like very strong, and she's like a widow, but she possesses like a powerful secret that threatens her life. So to keep her safe, Dorian kind of offers her this marriage of convenience, but Farrah has some stipulations of her own for this marriage of convenience. And this is such an emotional read because both Dorian and Farrah have been through so much in their lives. They are absolute soulmates. This book has so much angst, and I really enjoyed it. The next one I have is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. This is a contemporary romance, and this follows Emma, and she's dreamed of being a screenwriter like her entire life. However, she's also a full-time caretaker for her dad. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity comes along for her to rewrite a rom-com with like a famous screenwriter, but not like any famous screenwriter, but one that she's kind of like idolized for a long time, who is Charlie. Emma soon realizes it might be too good to be true, and Charlie doesn't want help with the rewrite of his awful script, but he kind of has a change of heart, and their journey begins. This is such a feel-good story with both emotional and lighthearted moments. Emma and Charlie like perfectly complemented each other in an opposites kind of way, and I enjoyed their banter. So this one obviously has like grumpy sunshine tropes as well as workplace, bit of opposites attract, And this is like minimal to clean romance as far as spice goes. So if you're looking for that, this has it. The next one I have is Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This is another lovely one, especially for this time of year. This is like a friends to lovers, fake dating type of romance. So Stella owns a Christmas tree farm, and it's kind of having some like financial issues. And so she kind of enters this contest saying that she owns the Christmas tree farm with her boyfriend, Luca. But Luca's her best friend. And so they kind of have to fake date, and it goes from there. I love this. I love the Christmas tree farm. I loved the friends to lovers. This was so cute, and I just really enjoyed it. The next one I have is Never Blow a Kiss by Lindsay Lovis. This is another historical romance. Emily is a governess with a dark past. She is newly recruited into a secret network of governesses that spy on the ton. Zach is like an ex-soldier turned railroad magnate, and he also hunts killers for the Metropolitan Police. And they both end up in the same place because both are looking for clues to a killer on the loose. So as they get closer, Emily's secret could destroy them both, and they have to decide, like, are they going to be together? And I just love this one. I love like the balance between the romance and the mystery subplot in this one. Emily and Zach's chemistry was sizzling. I loved their banter. I love that literally she blows him a kiss, which leads to all of this. And it's just amazing. It was like such a unique historical romance as far as like governess spies go. I thought that was like an intriguing aspect of it. Anyways, I loved that Emily was like streetwise, and I really enjoyed that she was like of the working class, and you got to see that perspective. I just love their meet and cute too. Which another one that I have is This Spells Love by Kate Robb. This is a contemporary romance, and this one was just an adorable friends to lovers romance with a bit of a magical twist that really just kind of felt nice to read, honestly. So this actually follows Gemma, and she gets dumped by her long-term boyfriend, and to erase her ex from her past, she and her sister and her aunt cast a spell. They follow all the steps, and when she wakes the next day, she's like in an alternate reality, and where her ex isn't in her life, but neither is her best friend Dax. So to get the spell reversed, she must get her best friend, now stranger Dax, to kiss her, but she's falling for him, and she may not want to go back to reality where they're just friends. So I just loved this one. It just felt so fluffy, and it was like a nice read. The next one I have, if you're a historical fiction fan, is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I really enjoyed this one. So this one follows Carrie Soto, who is a famous, talented tennis player. It starts off at the beginning of her career, and then it goes into like her abrupt retirement from tennis. She comes out of retirement to like defend her titles against another really good tennis player because she feels like she gave everything to tennis. And so without her titles, like, who is she? And so I really like this aspect of that book. This book definitely, you have to like Carrie and you have to understand Carrie, or you're not going to like this book. But like I said, I really enjoyed seeing Carrie grow as a character throughout this book. It kept me intrigued to see like how the story would end up for Carrie, because again, she can be an unlikable character at times or hard to root for at first. But I liked how it ended up going through this book. I enjoyed the relationship she gains in this book. It ended up being so good. And again, I enjoy Taylor Jenkins Reid's historical fiction. So definitely add this one to your wish list if you're a historical fiction lover like me. And last but not least, could I go an entire recommendations of books to add to your wish list without adding a Stacy Reid? No, I could not. The one I read this year is Accidentally Compromising the Duke by Stacy Reid. This is the first one in the Wedded by Scandal series. So Adeline is determined to escape an unwanted marriage to like a horrible earl. She puts herself in a position to be ruined by a more like suitable yet less influential man. However, she goes into the room of the wrong man and is ruined by the Mad Duke, as society calls him. Edmund is the Duke of Wolverton and is looking for a wife to take care of his children, his 2 daughters. He's looking for someone who he is not attracted to, which so happens not to be the case for the mystery woman who's entered his chamber and kind of traps him into this marriage, albeit accidentally. He never wants to suffer the loss of a loved one again, because he did lose his wife, and so he just doesn't want to do that again. So this one, I loved it. I mean, I love Stacey Reid's writing and her books. The chemistry between Adeline and Edmund is just amazing. I loved seeing the relationship grow between Adeline and the girls and how she kind of helps bridge the distance that occurred between Edmund and the girls when he was grieving the loss of his first wife. And you could just tell that Edmund did not feel like he deserved happiness because of the guilt he felt at the death of his first wife. And so like he just did not want to give in to loving Adeline. So good. It was just so good. I really enjoyed it. Again, this one has tropes of like a tortured hero, marriage of convenience. If you haven't checked out a Stacey Reid, please do. This one is another good one to begin with. This starts, I believe it's 4 in the series, the Wedded by Scandal series. So definitely another good place to begin. So those are all the books that I read this year that I would definitely say you should add to your wish list, especially if you're like a historical romance lover or romance reader. Or even let me know in the comments below what you think I should add to my wish list. And if you made it to the end, but you just want to let me know that you were here and you watched, go ahead and leave me like an emoji, like a paper, or it looks like a list. All right, guys, like and subscribe if you'd like to. Bye.